Hi guys, welcome to Being Real, a podcast where it sounds like what it is. We're here to be real, have authentic conversations, no filter, just me and a camera. My name is Kylie. My goal is to be able to let you guys in on my life, my experiences, things I've learned, and things I'm learning, and bring you guys along for the ride. Our world has lacked a sense of authenticity, so let's bring it back by being real with one another. I hope you guys enjoy the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Being Real. Had to do the hand effects because it's a Saturday. So that means Saturday. Anyways, hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday. That's the day I'm currently recording this on. Today, Jack and I took Koa to the farmer's market. So she got a million pets and belly rubs. So that was super fun. And then we went to actually two farmer's markets today. And they had a little kids market, and it was really stinking cute because all the kids made like little art, little bracelets and baked goods. So we ended up buying a cookie and a little picture frame of a watercolor flower that one of them made, and we put it in our bathroom. So super cool, super sweet. But yeah, we also got some quail we're trying for dinner tonight. So I don't know if you guys have had quail, but I'm excited to try it. They said it has better flavor than chicken. So if you are a fan of quail, please let me know in the comments because I've never had it before. So super new to it. Other than that, appreciate you guys' continued support with Jack and I as we continue to kind of wrestle through church stuff and just continue to grow in our marriage, honestly. That's really what it's all about, is us being like sandpaper against each other and really just trying to refine each other in all kinds of different ways. I think you can argue that both of us are right and wrong at the same time in the whole church debacle that we've been going back and forth on. And I think that's something we both have in common through it all. But it's going to be something that we continue to go back and forth on, and that's okay, because it shouldn't be something as big of a deal as it is that we just solve overnight. So thank you guys for your prayers. Thank you guys for your continued support. Honestly, right now, Jack and I are in a really good place with it. I just wanted to address a few things too, just because while reading your comments, I wanted to make sure you guys had a little bit more to the story, because obviously there's areas where you guys are going to miss some things that Jack and I talk about that's behind the camera. And that's totally fine, because we're not going to reveal every single thing in our marriage. That's going to be between us two and what we're wrestling in. And especially with this big thing, like, we are sharing it publicly. And so with that, we're sharing things that we're comfortable sharing. And maybe we just didn't do the best job of explaining further kind of what it looks like for us, because truthfully, you can't share everything in like a 30-minute video. It's really hard to capture everything. So I just wanted to address a few things for you guys, just for those that are following along with it. So really quick, because I don't want this to be the topic of the video, I have a different topic in mind. But Jack and I do plan to meet with an Orthodox priest soon. Just wanted to address that. That is something that we both talked about equally. So I had even told him, we have a friend who's Orthodox, who's one of my close friends' brother, and so I had suggested even this morning that we should get him on the phone, and Jack had basically said that we should wait a few weeks, just since we're in a really good place right now, and not saying that it's gonna just put it on the back burner as it's not important, but really just are in a place where we both needed a break, and we both just were feeling super, I don't want to use the word burnt out, but I would say burnt out just talking about it so often in general. And so because of that, we're gonna wait to talk to a priest for like another 2 weeks or so, but who knows, it could all change. But that was just something we had talked about. So we are planning on meeting with an Orthodox priest just to ask questions, share our experience, kind of the position we're in right now. I do appreciate your guys' feedback as well in terms of like encouragement for ways that I can help Jack feel unified. I even told him today I plan to join him in fasting on Wednesdays and Fridays, since he was really wanting to do that with the Orthodox Church. And so I was like, hey, you know, that's not a hill I'm willing to die on. I would love to join you in that. That's something that I'm going to be doing with him. Now, the reasons I may not be doing other things with him, such as like praying to icons, praying the same prayers as him, which we do sometimes. He'll read those prayers before bed here and there. Main reason is just because that's something I haven't personally felt convicted in. Essentially, that's something that Jack feels a lot closer to God in whenever he prays in front of an icon and out of the prayer book. For me, I feel closer to God in a different way of prayer at the moment. So that's why basically it looks a little different. And so I just wanted to open that up to you guys, since I understand that we aren't sharing every single detail, and I don't necessarily owe it to every single person that might have a certain opinion on our situation, and we're not sharing it to gather opinions or to even make changes based on what we see comments saying about our situation. But we do listen. We do see you guys' support and care. Just felt like we could share a little bit of insight into that. And so wanted to kind of let you guys in on that, because I know that there are some plot holes, you could say, to our situation that we haven't fully been able to get around. And like I said, this is going to be an evolving situation we continue to talk about in weeks, further episodes, but mainly just wanted to share that with you guys, just from looking through the comments, and because I care about your guys' support, and you guys have been giving us so much of that and really shown that you care about our marriage, and we can see that through a lot of the comments. So just want to touch on that. So moving on, after addressing that, question of the day. Don't worry, haven't forgotten. Okay. Give me a question of the day.
If you could instantly master one everyday skill, cooking, DIY, budgeting, etc., which would it be and why?
I don't know. It's tricky. I feel like I'm getting better at budgeting. Honestly, cooking, I could always get good at. Cleaning, I feel like I'm pretty good at. Even like DIYs around the house. Honestly, I'll say cooking. Jack is really good at cooking. In fact, he's helping with meal prepping right now, since it's kind of like I do a lot of the cleaning. He does all the cooking. I'd say all of it. He does a majority of it. Jack really likes to cook. He loves his grill. Every man loves his grill. So he's smoking the quail outside right now. But yeah, I do a lot of the cleaning. So like I told him I would do the laundry if he helped make dinner. And yeah, so cooking I'd say I'd like to get better at, because I do want to like cook really good food for Jack, which I do make like a few really good meals, and I can cook well, but just not as good as him. Like for example, he's really good at like using the grill for cooking meat. I don't really know how to use the grill as well as he does. And I also am not really great at cooking meat as he is. So maybe that's something I would like to get better at. For some reason, I'd like to get good at woodworking, for the purpose of like small things with owning a house is like, I don't know. I feel like you could build a porch, you could build a deck, you could build all kinds of stuff out of wood, and I just don't understand woodworking. Kind of a boring answer. I don't know. Everyday task, you guys. Let's just throw out there driving. I could always get good at driving, but we'd love to know your guys' answers to the question of the day, brought to you by ChatGPT, not sponsored. Don't have a sponsorship with Chat, so LOL. Anyways, fun little topic twist turn. Oh, this is something that Jack and I in our small group have been reading too. I wanted to share it with you guys. So I don't know if you can see it because of the ring light. Love the ring light. It's called A Shepherd. Yeah, that is annoying. The ring light is glaring. It's called A Shepherd Looks at Psalm 23 by Philip Keller. So it's like 170 pages, really small. It's like $5 on Amazon, but it's basically like a sheep shepherd, like an actual. I'm turning to do not disturb on my phone so I don't get texts and stuff. So anyways, basically a shepherd looks at the verse Psalm 23 and basically breaks it down from like a perspective of an actual shepherd. And so he kind of shares what God meant behind, or what like David was kind of really referring to, and how like God really does see us as his shepherd, how sheep behave, and how that's a very similar verse to like practical experiences and views of a shepherd in real life. So really good. Highly recommend. I'll share a little snippet from it, what I read this morning. It says, "But who was this Christ? Our view of him is often too small, too cramped, too provincial, too human. And because it is, we feel unwilling to allow him to have authority or control, much less outright ownership of our lives." That's all I will share, but it was really good. So anyways, highly recommend. Short read. Everyone in our small group was raving about it. So me and Jack are reading that together. So that'll be fun. But yeah, okay. Today's episode's gonna be about, I'm sorry, I'll stop doing that. It's gonna be about running. Woo, I haven't really talked about running in a while, you guys. honestly, I've taken kind of like a little bit of a break from it. Nothing crazy. Like I was running on and off last week. This past week, like last week meaning like 2 weeks ago, I guess. This past week, I've been taking it off. I was experiencing some knee issues. I actually thought I tore my meniscus just because like it would buckle under me. I was doing this research study for one of my old teammates, and I had to do a 10K from 3 different like weeks throughout the month. And every time I ran, my knee buckled, and it was like excruciating pain. It was like a very dull pain. It was the weirdest thing, and I didn't know why or what was going on. It was like I couldn't even run on it because I just kept buckling under it, and it just hurt. And anytime I like sat for a while and stood up and started walk, it hurt. But I went to like a sports medicine doctor, and they x-rayed it. Nothing. No tear, nothing. And I know like, yeah, you can go see an MRI, like you can get an MRI, and that'll give you a better, more clear idea of what's going on. But the sports medicine doctor, like even like felt around the area, and he was like, I really don't think it's a torn meniscus. Even like he did some mobility stuff, and he was very like confident it wasn't. And honestly, since resting it, like it feels fine. I've been cross training, like doing arc trainer, and just really focusing on intentional in terms of like resistance training instead. And honestly, I've really enjoyed it. I think I needed a mental break from running just because I had been running so much, you guys. Like I ran 4 years straight in high school, cross country, indoor track, go to college, cross country, indoor track, like for 4 years. So basically 8 years of running nonstop. Even in the winter, we had like maybe 2 weeks off, and then it was back to training. So yeah, I've been running for a long time, and I took a break off when I first graduated from school, but I really didn't get like I don't know, like I'm still working out break. It was more just like, okay, if I'm working out, I'm going to implement running, but I'm also going to like lift at the same time. It wasn't like I fully took running off. And so this past week's been nice and very refreshing just to get a break from running. So I've been still working out, moving my body. I use my treadmill desk. So I honestly haven't noticed much fitness difference. I haven't gained or necessarily lost weight. I haven't noticed any crazy physical changes. Like, yeah, my legs might be a little less toned than they usually are, but I mean, it's not the biggest difference in the world, which is reassuring because it shows me I can still like be fit when I'm not running, which sounds kind of obvious. But for me, with running my whole life, basically, take it back. With running my early adolescent stage, that whole period of time, like for 8 years plus, it's really hard to see like being in super great shape outside of running just because that's the only time I've really seen it, especially in marathon training. Oh my gosh. Like I also did CrossFit at the time. Like I was doing CrossFit and marathon training, and I felt like I was an Olympian. And so, yeah, it's pretty hard whenever you take a big break and you're like, I don't feel like I'm in the same shape as I was when I was at this point. And it definitely gets in your head, but I think I've learned is you can't compare your body type to like time whenever you were the most in shape because it's doing the best it can for the specific season that you're in. And also it's the body type that you need for the specific season you're in. Like when I was in college, of course I was going to be more fit, a little more leaner, a little bit stronger because I had to be because I was competing every single week. Being outside of college and what I did a marathon in the fall, and now I'm really not training for anything right now, I don't have to be in that great of shape. And I've had to really come to terms with that mentally, which has been kind of hard. It's been a lot of ups and downs, but it's been helpful to remember that it's like a certain, I don't know, I overuse the word season, you guys, so beware. I'm warning you, disclaimer, here we go. The season I'm in right now, oh, there it went, okay. The season I'm in right now, I don't have to be in the best shape in the world. Right now, I'm maintaining. Right now, I'm just trying to stay healthy and get a good balance with work and even finding time to make this a priority and time with friends, and especially with like Jack and I's marriage and ultimately Christ. Like, I don't know why I didn't say that first. Duh. Like, I have to be able to put him first so I can make our marriage great. And on top of that, I can't have a good active lifestyle or good friends if I don't have those two as my top priorities, especially whenever I bring kids into the world one day. Like Jack and I can't be good parents if we aren't putting Christ first in our marriage before our kids. Highly recommend reading Tim Keller's marriage book because that is a great book to talk about really just how to live a God-honoring marriage and how to love your spouse well, and we are still learning and obviously not doing it perfectly. So we are working on how to love each other well and practicing that now so that when we do have kids, we're able to continue that and it doesn't just come to an abrupt stop. So that's something cool we've been talking about. Anyways, back to the running thing. Yeah, so I guess body image has been kind of tricky here and there, just like with not training for anything at the moment. And it's been humbling, but also really revealing of just like how much emphasis and importance I put on how I look physically. And I think that does stem from just like body dysmorphia that comes along with being a competitive athlete for so long. You're surrounded by other people who are at different activity levels and different body types, different heights, all of that. And so of course you're going to compare, like you compare your performance to literally everyone on the team whenever you're in college sports, whether you're running, you're in baseball, football, etc. You are always comparing yourself. It's just kind of a rite of passage and it's annoying and I hate it, but that's kind of the spiel with it. So I feel like I've battled body dysmorphia for as long as I can remember, like running truthfully. That's a part of why I started running. Like I started it because I wanted community, I wanted friendships, and I wanted to be connected while being in school. But another part of it was I remember like thinking to myself, I want to stay in shape. And that was definitely a core pillar as to why I wanted to get into a sport in the first place, which is not a bad reason at all. I will just like make that as a disclaimer. I can hear Jack using Koa's squeaky toy out there. It's really funny. Or that's Koa squeaking it. One of the two. Jack loves Koa, you guys. Koa is his little baby girl. It's so sweet. Makes me excited for when he's a girl dad one day. If he's a girl dad, I hope he is. I grew up with boys and I work with boys and come home to a boy who I love very much, but I just can't do more boys. So anyways, I also had twin brothers, you guys. Twin brothers. Scary. Just kidding. I love them. But back to running. So anyways, all that to say, I like to do this. I get on little spiels and then I forget what I was talking about. It happens. But body dysmorphia is definitely a big factor I've noticed with like not training as much. So we're going to get back to the main topic. Am I still running the Boston Marathon? Kind of went down a separate rabbit hole there, and that's okay. We're here for a good time, as they say. But I am running, ideally, I hope I can run the Boston Marathon. So my time qualified. I ran a 3:19:47 for all those running nerds out there that know like the qualification cutoffs from the top of their head. But I'm in like the 20s female age group, so I should make it. It's like just barely over like 4 minutes-ish, 5 minutes of the cutoff time. So it's 3:25 is a qualifying time. And so I'm like under it by like 4.5 minutes. So fingers crossed, you guys. Hoping that it happens. I'd love to get to run it. I told Jack before we have kids, I'd love to run the Boston Marathon. I think it'd be something really cool, like really fun to train for, and it'd be a really cool trip to go to. So really hoping that works out, but I'm also trying to hold it open-handed. So question, am I still running the Boston Marathon? Yes, assuming my time gets through, assuming I'm healthy. But if God has a different plan, a different direction, then no. So right now I'm planning on it. I am treating my body, my training like I'm focusing on really intentional core lifts for my lower body, upper body, as if I'm getting ready to ramp up training in November. If I submit my time in September next month, which is crazy, and doesn't get in, that's okay. We'll be a little sad. Heck yeah. I mean, it's the Boston Marathon, probably the most competitive marathon race in the country. If I don't make it in, it's okay. I told my friend this because she had kind of a different change of plans with jobs that she was really hoping for and was kind of discouraged by it, but just also trying to be helpful for the new step of direction that she was going into. And I just texted her. I was like, hey, something I've learned is a new direction can sometimes, or redirection is not always bad. Sometimes it means a new direction. So I don't know. I've had to really like think about that even with this of like, whenever I was literally thinking my knee was torn, like my meniscus was torn, I was thinking in the back of my head, I'm not going to be able to run Boston, and that's going to suck. And yeah, it would suck, but it only sucked for a little bit because the reality is it'd probably bring me to something else. Maybe I would get really good at like CrossFit again on my own, or really good at lifting, and there'd be something else I wanted to do. So I don't know. I've just kind of been really trying to be open-handed with that of, yeah, if I can't run Boston, it's not the end of the world and it's okay. And I know that there is something better ahead, whatever it looks like. So yeah, TBD. But running just kind of been here and there, which is so weird because it was a big thing where every single day I woke up and ran. And so it's weird waking up and like, I'll read in the morning and then I'll go to the gym, but I don't run per se, like every single day. And so that's been kind of an interesting dynamic that I've noticed. And so, yeah, it's a different change of pace for sure, but I'm realizing that that's not always bad, kind of like I was just saying. So, yeah, I don't know. It's even weird talking about it. Like, I don't really have a whole lot to say about running right now, which is kind of wild and ironic because that's what the topic's about is, am I still running Boston? I'm also trying not to make Boston like this identity thing, like if I run Boston, then I've made it type of thing, because it's such an honor to get to run a race like that. It's not the end of the world. Like, what's bigger than running Boston? Being a parent. Like, that's such a huge honor to get to do. And Jack and I have even talked about that. And like, we're so excited for that day, whenever it does happen. But we're also trying to just enjoy the honor that is just for it to be us two right now and to love each other well and learn how to do that before we bring another life into the world. But that's even bigger than running Boston. Even bigger than running Boston is getting married in the first place. So there's like two huge life things that are way more important than running the Boston Marathon. Even celebrating somebody getting baptized, somebody coming to Christ, somebody graduating college or high school. Those are bigger than running the Boston Marathon, which some people might disagree with, and that's okay. But like, the reality is there's some things that matter way more than running a really big race. And like, that's taken me a lot of time to get used to like thinking and seeing and believing and even saying, because I've spent so much time having identity in how I performed and how I raced. So it's really cool to see like how God's grown me since being in college and running in college and having that mindset of, I have to run this time. I have to run well. I have to make it to this. I have to help the team do this. And if I don't, it's the end of the world. Like, I literally would have breakdowns if I raced and I didn't hit a time that I wanted to, or I raced and I was not in a position that my coach wanted me to be at all. I would be on the bus crying and just really beating myself up. And unfortunately, that's a big pressure that comes with being a college athlete in general. But I don't know, you guys. It's really weird being post-grad and not being expected to perform a certain way in terms of running. I do feel that way in like my job. Like, I feel like I'm expected to perform a certain way there, which I feel grateful that college athletics prepared me for. It's a little different though. They expect me to perform these skills really well, and that's just like an everyday thing, which is similar in a way, but like different in the terms of like physically performing versus doing your job. Also processing the fact that I'm not expected to run every single day. It's something I get to choose, and I really like that choice because, yeah, having a coach give you a training schedule and, feeling the pressure to have to keep up with it all the time, it's a lot. I mean, I would beat myself up if I didn't train one day in the off season. Like, if I woke up late or I was sick, I would be so upset with myself. I remember crying because I didn't make time to run one day, and I was like terrified I was going to be the slowest on the team. I was like, somebody's going to come back and somebody's going to beat me and they're going to take my spot on varsity and yada yada. And that was high school. So like, I was young. I was still figuring it out. Still figuring it out now. But all of to say, yeah, just it's a constant battle of trying to feel like you've succeeded and you fulfilled like your own purpose, but also not putting the pressure on yourself to give yourself a purpose in a way. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what I'm saying anymore, you guys. But as far as running goes now, current plan, like I mentioned, is I'm just going to try to maintain. I'm going to enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. I'm going to enjoy lifting and cross training, and I'm planning on starting to run again like next week or two. Who knows? I'm gonna feel it out, see how my knee performs, which is exciting because I've missed running for sure. Like, I think the thing I love the most about running is you do like work your body really hard, and I love that. Like, I feel, like I've gotten a really good workout in, even if I've run like 3 miles outside. But the thing I miss the most, I think, is being outside. And I was telling Jack that just working inside is my main job, and then spending at least an hour outside or less than that before I start the day inside is so nice. And it is so relieving and needed because, yeah, I can't handle being inside for 8 hours and then go to the gym for another hour. It's like 9 hours inside when it's like, it's beautiful out right now. Like, I don't know if you guys have caught on or wherever you're watching this from, the El Nino, whatever El Nino is, taking a cold front across the U.S. And yeah, the summer weather has been a lot cooler, which I've kind of loved low-key, but I love when it's warm too. So I don't know, just like missing running when it's like sunny out and really nice out. Working out inside and then going to work all day makes me just feel really stuffy and like I'm going stir crazy almost. So I think I miss that aspect of it. So looking forward to be able to be outside again and get to run. So that's kind of my game plan at the moment, but I really am hopeful that my time will make it through. I'll keep you guys updated once I find out. It would be so cool to get to run that race, you guys. Like, I don't want to downplay, like, oh, I'll be fine if it doesn't happen. Like, I really would be really devastated. I shared a little bit about it earlier on in the podcast, but the race that I qualified for the Boston Marathon with was my first ever marathon. So, like, praise God for that. Like, crazy. I trained for my first marathon for fun as I was processing for the first time, like not being on a team, and I wanted something to train for, and I kind of just threw what I had out there as far as fitness went, and I ended up qualifying. Like, that's crazy. Most people work really hard for their first marathon and they may not even come close. And I'm not saying that to like toot my horn or anything. Like, I'm literally giving all the glory to God and just saying that, like, that is not something that I did to get that opportunity. Yes, I physically like put in the work, but God protected me from illness. He protected me from injury, and he allowed me to run that race. And it was great weather, great conditions, and it just, a lot of things went really well for that race. And who knows, I could run Boston and run a really bad time, but I'm going into it just like, man, I just want to get to run this race. That'd be so cool. Huge opportunity to do. And like, truthfully, I'd love to get to like tell Jack and I's kids one day, like, your mom got to run Boston Marathon. That was one of the biggest races ever. It'd be so cool to get to do. So really, really hoping that I do get the opportunity and trying to stay level-headed with the idea that if it doesn't work out, there's a reason for it and that's okay. But yeah, that's kind of a little update as far as how running's going. I just wanted to fill you guys in on that and share kind of what running's looked like for me, what working out has been, my goal for training for Boston. Like, I really am just going into it, hoping that I make it in, hoping my time gets accepted and I'm officially on the road there, and just going to put everything I got into this training, and I'll bring you guys along for the ride. So it'll be really cool getting to train for it. Lord willing, I make it in, and it'll literally, I told Jack this, if I make it in, I plan to make this a race that I give it my full all. Like, I already kind of gave it my all when I trained for the last race, but I plan on this race. I am putting everything I've got into it. I'm dedicating at least like 2 hours a day for working out. I'm waking up early, getting in solid intentional lifts, workouts, so that I am finely tuned for this race. Like, it's going to be probably the hardest race that I've ever worked for. That's my goal, at least. So stay tuned for that. We'll keep you guys updated as far as what I find out if that time makes it through. And yeah, excited to continue to bring you guys along with Jack and I's life, things that I'm learning, he's learning, we're learning together, things like this that's going on in my life. Just want to bring you guys in on and what that's looked like for running. So yeah, well, love you guys. Thanks for watching and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then,